I want to, you know, always merge these different places, bring them to this little place of Canada I live in. Jimi is a different thing I like, but his voice and his vibe was just phenomenal. I like gangster rap in Marcellus. Everybody playing Jimi Hendrix. You want to dance. No matter what it was, it made you want to dance. My father was a little rapper back in the day. One of my favorite bass lines, this is in the Power Soul, Jimi, Buddy, and Billy Cox. I just keep working at it in case I can perfect it one day. Fender makes wonderful guitars, I just want to say. I don't know why. I just say that they make beautiful guitars, and this 5-string Pre is kind of sexy. The color is beautiful. The pink is quite sexy too. I think the pink is actually sexier, but the red is sexy. They're both sexy. How about that? Sexy 1 and sexy 2. How about that? I got to put myself in there too. I got to be sexy too. You know, 3 of us together. It's a trio. 3, 1, 2, 3. Sexy 1, 2, 3. I like that. We can work with that. That's funky. Funky music, soul music, sexy 1, 2, 3. Yes, music. Let's talk about it. Let's be it. Let's do it. I mean, music's kind of been in my household and my vibe and my family all my life. It selected me. It called me, and I came running. When I was about 14 or 15, I decided to play bass. So I went to the music store up the street from our house in the old neighborhood in the East End there, Vancouver, and I don't know if I want to say this, but I talked the shop owner to give me a new bass and an amp to take home. But I didn't have any money on me at the time. But he'd still let me take it anyway. So I figured, I think I must owe him a little something for, you know, allowing me as a young kid to go in there and grab some instruments and take them home and play them and make them real. My mom was kind of upset at the guy, because she said, like, why did you let this 16-year-old boy come in the shop and just take the stuff home, and you expect me to pay for it? So it was quite a funny time when I think about it now. There I didn't think of anything of it, but now I think that's quite funny, actually. You know, they wouldn't do that today. I started my first band then, and we started playing. See what kind of songs. Yeah, I remember I loved Tower of Power and all that stuff. We wanted to be big. It was fun, you know. Music, it never stops. Back then there were like Sly and the Family Stone and the Temptations, and I loved Buddy Miles. He was my favorite. And Buddy, of course, Jimi and Buddy played together, but Buddy was a playing, singing drummer. He was incredible.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Serve the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief.
Back then, for me, he was one of my favorites, and it was so crazy because I figured this is the guy who took me on my first airplane ride. He played a concert in Vancouver. I think I was about 11. I was going to go visit my father in Spokane, and I had seen the show the night before, and so, you know, didn't think anything of it. When we got to the airport, he was there with all his guys ready to get on the plane, and I went over to, you know, wanted to say hello and, you know, say hi again and everything, and introduce him to my mom, of course, and everything. And well, he ended up taking me with him to Portland to their concert and then to Spokane. And that's how we kind of just, from then on, we became, you know, like the best of friends. I ended up producing one of his last CDs before he passed away in 1997. I produced a great record called Buddy Miles, Miles Away from Home. And I still have some gems that I've never released of Buddy Miles. The world. I guess I have some gems that I have not shared with the rest of the world yet. But I will do that. Maybe 2013 might be a good time for that. Yeah. I think it's time to share. can't hold it all to myself all the time. I got to share some music sometimes. I guess at that time, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do anything. I just wanted to hear the music, so they always let me in. So I was quite underage, but I just wanted to enjoy the music. I mean, everybody played there. I mean, oil cans. I saw Kiss play upstairs for, this is crazy. It was actually for a function from Seattle. So it was a black school out of Seattle that was having a private party in Oil Can Harry's. They were upstairs, and the band that they had for them was Kiss before they put their makeup on. They were just getting started. I mean, it was, yeah. I remember that. It was hilarious. It was like this little mismatch here, but you know, they could go downstairs. But it was just quite funny. I remember that I used to go to all the clubs. The Cave was another club they had on Hornby Street. It was, I saw Ray Charles, I saw Diana Ross. My mom, she cooked for Diana Ross that whole 9 days that she was there. Somebody told Diana Ross that my mom was a great cook, so she calls and says, Miss Pearl, can you please come and prepare meals for Diana Ross? So, and Diana Ross loved my mom's cooking so much that she wanted to take her on tour with her, but she says, no, I got my son, and you know, so. My mother was, well, it's funny, her sister was the first black woman in Canada to have her own music TV show in the 60s. Elanora Collins, she's got one of those stars over there on Granville Street. She was inducted into the BC Music Hall of Fame or whatever it is. Yes, I mean, so she was the singer, and then my mother was the actor. My mother used to do plays with Bruno Gerussi and all that back in the day. They had a thing called Theater Under the Stars here, and she did a lot of that stuff. And then when she turned 60 or 61, she lost her eyesight, so she started singing.
That's all right with me. Sure. Not too fast, darling. Here I go again. I hear those trumpets blow again. All aglow again.
So she became a jazz singer.
Your mother?
My mother. So I ended up producing a record with my mother and Wynton Marsalis. They did a record together that I produced called A Black Cultured Pearl and Wynton Marsalis Going Down Home. And it's amazing. One of these days I'm going to release the DVD of that. I have the DVD and the CD, and I'm going to do it like a nice little package set and put that so the rest of the world can enjoy it as well. Well, she passed away in '97, and they did that concert in '96, and she had said in one of the interviews in this time frame, she said, if the good Lord lets me do this, he can take me away. The next year she was gone, so she got the chance to do what she wanted to do. I love, you know, the music of today and the music of yesterday, because now there is, you know, when we talk about genres of music and you know, what is it that we like and what is it that we don't like, well, there's nothing I don't like. I produce country records, rock records, you know, R&B records, rap records. I don't care what they are. Like I said, to me, it's all music. So they all feel good to me, and they all have something that they bring a new light. So if I'm doing something I've never done, it's like, wow, this is great. Let me try this now, you know, because it's something I haven't done and something I haven't experienced. And the whole thing of life, I think, is experience, isn't it? To find all the different avenues of experience that we can. So I'm open to all the music, and I embrace all the music.
It must be very difficult, you know. It's difficult to be original and authentic and unique.
It is. I mean, because you have too many people chasing the dollar. So in the industry of music, whatever it is, anything, the biggest thing we're looking for is how to make some money. And yes, we all want to make some money because we all want to have that wonderful life that we think is in the money. But it's hard because there's still something about just keeping the passion of the fact that you love to do what you do, and just do it, and don't try to get caught up in trying to chase the dollar, because when you're trying to chase the dollar, you're always chasing, and you might get it, you might not. But I want to be able to say, when it's time for me to go, that whatever I've done and whatever I've produced, whatever I've written, whatever I've left here will live, you know, will be around for a long time. I want it just to be something that I did because I felt it as passionate as I feel about whatever I do. And so I don't want to go, oh, wow, I did that record so I could make some money. I mean, yeah, like I said, we all want to make money, but I would hope and pray that what I do and what I create, people will enjoy it, and that will make me some money. And I listen to, like I told you, it's a variety of soul music that I love. Some old ones, you know, I listen to a lot of new stuff. I mean, I tell you honestly, one of my favorites, I like gangster rap. I mean, I don't know why. You know, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre is like my favorites. I mean, I'm sorry, you know. I love gangster rap. I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm not a gangster. I mean, but gangster rap is happening for me. I love it. Content is maybe a little rough, but I still love it. I don't care what they say, you know. It's the beat, and you know, I mean, I can't relate experience-wise, but I remember the time. So that time was a time that I grew up in, and they're speaking about it as it's new, but it's really, again, it's old, right? So my father was a little rapper back in the day. Say, you're leaving town, you think you're late. Call Mr. Brown and his Rocket 88.
Are you kidding?
Serious.
No kidding.
You know,
your dad was a rapper?
He always had little rhymes like that all day and night, yeah. I want to hear everything, and I want to be involved in all kinds of music and all kinds of different places in the world, and just bring them to this little place of Canada I live in, and create some more magic. I really enjoy sort of that, I mean, Earth, Wind & Fire. I call them the modern day Earth, Wind & Fire is Incognito, band out of London. I mean, they're like one of my favorites. They're just amazing. They're like, you know, here's where Earth, Wind & Fire was, and then after Earth, Wind & Fire came this, you know, this Incognito. I know they were influenced by Earth, Wind & Fire as well, but they just kind of taken another place. So they came up with this sort of really cool acid jazz, soulful, funky. I mean, that's probably my favorite. Ross, I love Luther. I mean, just his voice was magic, you know. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I would sit here and be wasting too much digital tape or digital hard drives to tell you how many artists that I really enjoy and admire.
Okay, top 3 favorites though. Just.
Yeah, I'd have to say Luther, Earth, Incognito are my 3 favorites. You know, people want me to say Jimmy, but Jimmy is a different thing I liked. You know, it's a different style again. You know. That's a whole nother passion.
Buddy Miles. Oh, you mean Lord Budwig of the Nebraska Budwigs? No, man, you know who I'm talking about. Oh, you mean Buddy Miles.